Hi, everyone. I'm Travis Guillory in the Shape Your Future Healthy Kitchen with Chef Valerie from OUTU School of Community Medicine. Thanks for coming in today.
Oh, thanks for having me here.
Of course. So we've got stuff already sizzling. That's how prepared we are today for talking about some healthier alternatives for folks that can cook in their home and stuff that doesn't require a whole lot of ingredients. So what are we making today?
So this is a bowl meal, and so we're actually using bulgur wheat. You might be familiar with bulgur wheat because it's the basis of tabbouleh. But you could switch that out for lots of different intact or whole grains. It's going to get some beans stirred into it, and we have some garlic sauteed with a little bit of oil and collard greens. But this is a very versatile recipe because you could use turnip greens, mustard greens, Swiss chard, kale, curly kale. There are lots of different things that you could use to make this bowl your own.
Yeah, and you mentioned those beans earlier.
Yes.
Are we talking about these beans right here?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could use any kind of bean you want. Again, black bean, northern bean. So what we have today are great northern beans. And these actually are the reduced sodium, if you're trying to watch your sodium, and most people are or should be. So these are just going to get stirred right in. But what's important to remember is that also, even though these are reduced sodium, if you rinse these in water and under a colander or in a colander, that's going to take another 50% of the sodium out of the beans.
Oh, wow. So even the low or reduced sodium, if you rinse them, you're still taking half of that reduced sodium, which is already reduced, out. Wow.
Right. So the beans just get stirred right into that grain, and then again we already have the garlic and greens going right here, and we started them beforehand because when you cook greens you want to add them in batches, because if they cook all together sometimes they can start weeping and you start boiling or simmering instead of sauteing, and that's not nearly as good of a concentrated flavor.
Yeah, so kind of do it in batches so that way you're kind of constantly getting...
Right. And speaking of flavor, this is a very basic dish. We just have a little, we're going to do just a pinch, like a quarter of a teaspoon of salt and a quarter of a teaspoon of ground pepper. But then on top of that, you could also add some flavor combinations of lemon, garlic, chili flakes. You could do kind of an Asian with green onions, garlic, and ginger. And then so just different combinations to kind of make it your own.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are just about ready. So the basis of the bowl is going to be the grain and bean. Just going to go right in here. And then on top, you can do some of the sauteed garlic and greens. And again, add those flavor combinations with cilantro, cumin, lime zest. They would just go right on top.
Right, and you want to watch the salt intake, though. That's kind of one of the main things here, too. So whatever you do put on top, you want to make sure you're not overdoing it or making something too seasoned or making things too salty there.
Right.
Great, and this is something that's super filling, too, because you have that wheat in there, and so that's something that's really filling for you. So once again, an easy thing to make, not a whole lot of ingredients. You can use stuff that's in a can if you want to rinse it. So definitely something super easy for folks to make. Well, thanks for coming in today. Once again, Chef Valerie from OUTU School of Community Medicine in the Shape Your Future Healthy Kitchen.